You say your name right now.
Denise.
Say it right.
Denise.
Correctly.
Denise.
Right.
Denise.
Right.
D-nice.
That's better. Thank you.
We live in a world now that welcomes and nurtures the screwball in all of us. Hey, it's a new decade, people. Time to get a little nutty. Treat yourself to Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey, a smooth flavor that combines two of America's favorites, peanut butter and American whiskey. So no more social awkwardness. Time to embrace who you truly are. Get out there and make friends. And be sure it starts with Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. It's available nearly everywhere. Learn more at screwballwhiskey.com. Infinium Spirits. Please enjoy responsibly.
Okay. I've noticed that Antonio Brown has found yet another sucker to take him on. God knows we've already done Pittsburgh's dirty laundry. I'm curious about one thing. Do you think that he'd be welcomed back as easily in the league if he were going back to Bill Belichick and the Patriots? In other words, you think that he'd be welcome back if he were going to make New England a better team, or if he's going back to Tom Brady?
Armchair.
We are the Armchair Quarterback Show, your first choice for sports talk live from the First Coast.
You get a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks. So much, I'm going to have to speed things up. You can get the Farmers Signal app, and that could get you up to 15% off your auto policy. That's just for using the app and driving like the normal speed limit, hearing, full stop, making lane change, signaling human being you are. Get a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks. Start with a quote by calling 1-800-FARMERS.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Top Gun Supply stocks a wide range of firearms, so stop on by at Top Gun Supply at 525 State Road 16 in St. Augustine. Top Gun Supply is open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Top Gun Supply, the friendly gun shop.
Well, what do we do? This just got way too complicated.
I've got it. Here's what's going down. Corey, you talk to your team. You guys are going to decline that holding call.
Done.
Yo, wait, but
Hold on. Trayshawn, once we break this huddle, you're going to get out there, do some crazy celebration. I'm talking some humpies. Whatever you got to do, you do it.
Okay, I got you.
I'm going to call unsportsmanlike conduct on the celebration, giving the Whites better field position after the kickoff. Coach, I need you to talk to your team about letting them run that kickoff back.
Why would I do that?
Think about it. Defense, special team, it's all one. You let them run that kick back, both your defenses get 6 points.
Nice.
Okay, everyone good here?
Yeah.
Nope. Once again, my kicker is getting no love.
Oh, shut up, Bill. Your team is in first place. Plus, you're about to get extra point for the PAT.
Yeah, don't be greedy, Bill.
Stop being greedy, Bill. Bill.
Fine.
Bill. Yeah, Bill.
I said fine.
Bill.
Bill. Yeah, Bill. You, Bill.
All right, let's do this. Get out there.
Wait a minute. Trayshawn comes in with a very delayed celebration here. Oh, wow. I'm pretty sure that's going to be yeah, there it is. Another
Armchair.
no AA Ron, huh? Well, you better be sick, dead, or mute, AA Ron. Here. Why didn't you answer me the first time I said it, huh? Huh? I'm just asking you. I said it like 4 times. So why didn't you say it the first time I said AA Ron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron.
Son of a...
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and flat out deceived.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
But what the hell, boy?
Make sure to listen to the Armchair Quarterbacks. Good enough for us down here in the bayou. Go Tigers and the Armchair Quarterbacks.
It's morning.
Yes, and what a lovely morning.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Higher. Can we do that?
Armchair.
You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks on CBS Sports Radio, #1 sports station.
Good morning, and this is your Armchair Quarterbacks Sports Flash. 4 4 people have been arrested on drug and illegal weapon charges at a downtown Denver hotel close to Coors Field, but the FBI says it has, quote, no reason to believe, unquote, the suspects pose a threat to the upcoming MLB All-Star Game. 3 men and 1 woman in their 40s were arrested Friday night after a report of suspicious occurrence at the Maven Hotel, located 1 block from Coors Field. Despite the close proximity to Coors Field, multiple and other events held in conjunction with the All-Star Game, the FBI said Sunday in a statement that the suspects were not connected to terrorism. Quote, we have no reason to believe the incident was connected to terrorism or a threat directed at the All-Star Game. We are not aware of any threat to the All-Star Game events, venues, players, or the community at this time. The Denver Police Department has not released details about the evidence, but local ABC affiliate Denver 7 reported Saturday that the police discovered 16 long guns, body armor, and more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition from an 8th floor hotel room that had a balcony overlooking Denver's downtown area. Police executed the search warrants for the rooms after they received the tip from a maid at the hotel, according to multiple reports. Along with the gun charges, the 4 suspects are expected to face criminal charges on possession of a controlled substance with the intent to distribute. The All-Star Game is set for Coors Field Tuesday night in Denver. Italy beats England on penalty kicks to claim the 2020 Euro title. Yeah, that's right. I said it. 2020. I don't know why they're calling it the 2020 Euro title, but that's what they're doing, and they're allowing championships to be won on penalty kicks. Really dopey, so we'll move on. Bubba Watson has withdrawn from the Open, that's the British Open, after he was identified as being a close contact of someone who tested positive for COVID-19. He has been placed in the field with Brendan Steele. Watson said in a statement that he is vaccinated against COVID-19, but not enough time has passed for me to join the charter flight and risk exposure to the other players and personnel on board. Even a stranger story. What the hell's the point of getting that vaccine if you're going to be eliminated from such events? Former Open champion David Duval also withdrew Sunday, bringing the number of players who have been planning to play but withdrew to 13. Duval did not give a reason why he withdrew. He won the Open Championship 20 years ago in 2001 at Royal Lytham in St. Anne's. And the Orlando Magic have named Jamal Mosley the team's new head coach. Mosley, a Dallas Mavericks assistant, has agreed to a 4-year deal, according to sources. The Magic are replacing Steve Clifford, who mutually parted with the team last month. Yeah, right, that's never the case. Orlando had reached the playoffs in consecutive years before trade deadline deals, including Vucevic to Chicago and Fournier to Boston, this season moved them into the rebuilding mode. The Orlando Magic search process had narrowed to 2 candidates, Mosley and Denver assistant Wes Unseld, who also has emerged as one of the leading candidates for a number of vacancies, including the Washington Wizards. And that's your Armchair Quarterback Sports Flash. Stay tuned for the Armchair Quarterbacks radio show and YouTube Live. Please like, subscribe, and share our show today. The Armchair Quarterbacks, your first choice for sports talk, live from the First Coast. Good morning. It's time to wake up, y'all. You're listening to the Armchair Quarterback Show. We're here weekdays on CBS Radio, YouTube Live, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific. The Armchair Quarterback Show, your first choice for Southern sports talk. Good morning, Mr. Justin Waller.
Good morning. I don't know much, but I know one thing. Not only has the All-Star game left Atlanta, on Saturday night, the All-Star, Acuna Matata, tore his ACL and was taken from the game. Speedy recovery, Ronald. Braves fans need you.
Hi, I'm Mac McGee, and I don't know much, but I know one thing. Freddie Freeman took a picture of his son on the plane today, heading out to the All-Star game. His son's really excited to meet Tatis Jr. What does that sound like to me? That sounds like Freddie Freeman's going to be a San Diego Padre before it's all said and done. You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks.
Now, what do you think you're doing? You want to throw your garbage? Throw it in the damn trash basket. Do you have more important things to do?
Yeah. But I'm not doing them right now. We understand each other. Okay, pal, why the Mahaska? Why are you packing the gun?
I'm a treasury officer.
All right. Just remember what we talked about now.
Wait a minute. What the hell kind of police you have in this damn city, huh? What do they teach you? You just turned your back on an armed man.
You're a treasury officer.
Yeah, how do you know that? I just told you I was.
Who would claim to be that who was not?
Armchair.
Community Access Channel.
He's the armchair quarterback. He's full of beer and he's full of snacks. The all-American man. With a crew under his head.
Yeah, howdy, hi, top of the morning to you. Welcome to the Armchair Quarterback Radio Show. Justin Waller and Mac McGee. Justin, how the hell are you, sir?
Bummed the hell out.
Man, it was a gut punch. It was a gut punch. I'm not gonna.
Hell, mine went lower than that. I wish it would have hit me in the gut.
Man, were you watching it live? By the way,
That makes it worse. No.
Okay, so when it happened, first of all, it's a really goofy jump.
Yeah,
it is a really goofy jump. If you look at it, he's one of the smoothest athletes I've ever seen in my life. And at the moment he made that jump, I didn't think it was a serious injury. I was like, the hell was that? And I'm glad. I almost made a smart ass comment on Twitter, but it looked like he was skipping over there. This is why you don't skip, boys and girls. But anyways, he lands, and then I had to watch the excruciating pain on his face. I was like, okay, well, he's done this before. Every time he gets hurt, he usually tears up, and then we find out that he's okay a couple of days later. So that's what I was hoping for. But when he got halfway to the dugout and had to sit down again, and they had to come pull out the cart, I knew it was more serious than just like a hyperextension. My other thing was, even when he was walking back and limping, I'm like, why is he walking, Snicker? You got a damn cart right there. Why wouldn't you bring an injured player to the dugout via the cart? I didn't understand that at all. And I'm not saying that added to his injury. Who the hell knows? I'm not a doctor. I do play one around 8:30 Eastern every day. But I'm looking at is the fact that why do you not use the cart that's available to you, Justin? I didn't get it.
I don't have a clue on that. Maybe he was just as shocked as we were. I mean, he knew he was going to lose Freddie and Charlie now. He's like, well, damn, there goes the season.
Yeah.
Walk it off.
I've heard this so many times about how Charlie is a big Tatis fan. He's never met him, so he's excited to meet him. And when I saw it on Twitter this morning, taking pictures of him, oh, that's sweet, it breaks my heart. I didn't say it, but I was like, yeah, you think that's real damn sweet till he's wearing Padre gear or signs with the Angels so that his son can go see him more often, because they've left this up to, I mean, at this point, I'm almost like, trade Freddie's ass, because we know he's going to leave us, so trade him, get what you can for him. And if he will re-sign with us next year, that's great. But if not, you could get a haul for a Freddie Freeman in the middle of a playoff push, because you're going to have to back the truck up anyways to re-sign Acuna at some point. I think you're going to have to back the truck up to re-sign Ozzy, and then probably Riley's going to get a good little, if he continues his upward. You're not going to have enough money to sign all these guys is kind of my point. Not with the way Atlanta does business. So
What are you doing from here?
Huh?
3 weeks to the trade deadline. Did you just change your direction?
What am I doing from here?
I mean, did you completely, if you're the front office,
I'm crying.
Well, that hasn't stopped. I'm dehydrated, needing an IV because I've shed so many tears.
Point to where it hurts. Okay, so Zuna, and then Acuna, and oh, by the way, Travis Darno, and Soroka. I mean, that's pretty much it, dude. If you're a Braves fan in 2021, it has just been one gut punch after the other. We thought 2020 was the worst year ever.
We laughed at Cole Hamels in a yoga ball.
Yeah. We thought 2020 was the worst year ever. Make it stop. I'm almost thinking of forfeiting the rest of the games just so we can get healthy by next year. Honestly, You know, here's the thing. The Mets blew, as bad as it is, the Mets blew a 5-run lead to the Pirates yesterday. And they split with the Pirates. We lost 2 to the Pirates. So when we lost 2 to the Pirates, I was like, oh, well, you know, you're going to lose ground on that one. We actually gained ground on the Mets over the weekend. I think they could. Okay, so let me go ahead and hit the turn that music off. I was looking at some of the trade deadline possibilities, and I don't think you're gonna go crazy and back the truck up, but I do think if you're gonna continue to get fans to come out to the stands, you got to go get something, don't you? I mean, you're only 4 games out of first place, Justin. It's not. I get it that we don't have Acuna. That sucks, and it sucks real bad. But we're gonna get d'Arnaud back in August. Hopefully the beginning of August, but we'll see. But that's huge. Enoa, for people that missed this news, Friday or Saturday, he started throwing again, baby. So we're going to get Enoa back. Your pitching's looking pretty good. The bullpen, but the bullpen, I think a lot of things could be saved by the bullpen by getting a frontline closer. And I've got one team where we go and we fix the whole damn kabit and caboodle. We go raid the Pittsburgh Pirates because you look at some guys that are available. I'm trying to see how many years this guy's got left. Adam Frazier, second baseman / outfielder for the Pirates. That's tempting. Richard Rodriguez, the closer of the Pirates, 31 years old. He is controllable all the way through 2023. He's been phenomenal this year. Now, he does make me a little nervous, Justin, because the guy pretty much just throws fastballs, and you figure eventually the league catches up with that. But right now, it's working, right?
Well, I mean, right now they haven't seen him. They're not winning many games.
Right. So, fair enough. But he's got, like, they say his heater's around 93 miles an hour. I dispute that because when I watched him play the other night against Atlanta, it was around 96, 97. So he's a hard thrower. He has $1.7 million salary in 2021. And I don't have but he is controllable till 23. The other guy that jumps off the board is their center fielder, and that's Reynolds. And Reynolds, center fielder for the Pirates, he's controllable. That's what I'm trying to find. I had it in front of me right before the show started. I can't figure out what happened to it. But I think it's 25. I think if you make the trade for him, it's 2025. I'll find it in a minute. Now, you might have to really back up the truck, but I'm thinking, here we go. He's 26 years old. He is, yes, under club control until 2025. So you're talking about having to do arbitration, right? But still, you control him through 2025. That's 4 more years outside of this one. 22, 23, 24, and 25. I think you would have to do a lot of things, but that might solve your damn left field problem when Acuna comes back. You could put him in center field for right now, and you could go platoon left field, right? In right field at this point. When Acuna comes back, depending now, the one thing I haven't seen on him is his defensive metrics, how great of a defensive center fielder he is. But when we watched him play the other night, they kept saying that he was a solid center fielder. So I don't think he's like an Achilles heel out there, right? What say you, or are you punting this whole thing? Because I think if you could get some lightning in a bottle, you could do something. Now, you would have to go replenish the entire Pittsburgh Pirates organization, but you get Frazier, who is I think he's controllable till next year. You get him, you get the closer, and then you get the center fielder. And I don't think they would get all 3. I think it's much more likely that they get one of the outfielders and the closer in a big deal. But what would you be willing to give up for that? Or are you saying, screw this, I'm selling everything?
Man, I'm still I just don't think that I think we're fooling ourselves if you think that we're going to trade any key piece in and it's going to change the outcome of this season. Win the division or not, whoopee. I don't think you've got a roster that gets you out of the first round of the playoffs. I don't even know that you win your play-in game. There's too many pieces, front end, back end, in the arms category that I think you need. And I think that – sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say about the playing game. We're not going to be in the playing game because –
well, you would have to win the division. You're correct, yeah.
Yeah. So
well, then you just won't win the series. I mean, I realistically don't think this is any better roster than what you fielded the past 2 seasons. And due to injuries, it has a lot more holes. Now, with the contract status coming up and the key piece that you have in Charlie Morton, I think you have a unique – you joke about the Freddie trade, but – damn, I don't know if I'm not fielding calls on it, man. If there is an option, I'm taking calls. I mean, if I could move a Freddie and a Morton and haul in a bunch of young pieces and punt to 2022, and I don't know that I'm not doing it. If you can stack my cupboard and fix my bullpen, get me a bat in the outfield, young first baseman, man, I'm considering it.
If you trade Freddie Freeman, you're going to take a significant hit in the PR department for the Atlanta Braves because there's a couple of things going on there. Next year trying to sell season tickets. And then also, I don't think he'll come back. If you trade him, I do not think he'll come back because he's one of those guys that's most likely to re-sign because of loyalty. If you trade him, I think the loyalty's gone. So, let's say you trade him to wherever, but he sees the grass is greener elsewhere. He goes up there and wears pinstripes in the Bronx. He goes, you know what? It's not that bad up here. Kind of like it. I kind of like putting my face all over Madison Avenue. If you trade Freddie Freeman, you better be prepared to lose him forever. You can go out there and try to re-sign him, but you're now no longer getting the hometown discount. You're now going to have to pay top dollar, and that would be my concern. There's another guy out there, 27-year-old slugger, plays the outfield. They've made some deals with the Rangers before. What about Joey Gallo?
Open to Joey Gallo. We've talked about that previously as a piece we'd like to see picked up.
I'm trying to see. I don't have it. It's not on there. He is an arbitration eligible for one more season. So if you traded for him, he's got 6.2 left on the contract. I believe 6.2 is left on the year, or maybe the way it's written is kind of okay. 6.2 is what he made this year. So you're talking about having to pick up about $2 million. And so the Rangers would still, if they trade him, you're going to have Gallo for one more year. I like that option a lot better too, because you make a push this year, but if it doesn't work out, you got to have someone stick out there in left field next year. Because I don't know what the hell's going to happen with Acuna, but if he does come back and play for the Atlanta Braves in 2022, I think he's the DH. So, and he's a lefty. So let's just say we fast forward to next year. Ozuna's done his time, whatever. At some point, you got to move on, right? And you got to give the guy another chance to redeem himself. I don't think we'll see him this year, but let's say next year rolls up, and you've got Acuna in right, and you take your pick who's going to play center, but you put Gallo in left. You got Ozuna at the DH position. Freddie re-signs. It's a pretty potent lineup. And I like the fact that he's a lefty, because we have a lot of righties. Because when you have Swanson and you have Riley and whatever catcher we put there, they're all righties. I don't know. It's now if you do decide to trade, if you decide to move and trade these guys, how deep are you going to trade, Justin? You obviously are going to try to move Smiley and going to try to move Morton because they're 1-year deals, right?
Correct.
The guy who's arbitration eligible, we've made fun of him for years on this show, but he has been the best guy in the bullpen all year long is Luke Jackson. You trading him because he might get you a haul.
Did you just ask me that?
It's unbelievable, but he's the best guy in our bullpen.
I'm not letting the ink dry.
I mean, seriously.
Fax that over, buddy.
So you are trading him? Because I don't think I am.
Absolutely.
I don't think I am. Because I'm going to try to move some of these other clowns, but I don't think no one wants them. Man, they keep re-showing that stupid injury. It's making me want to throw
I'm
up.
cleaning the cupboard. I'm seeing opportunity out of this.
Well, okay, but then what do you have next year? I mean, I would like to see if they could move Minter. Can Minter get hot for a couple?
Well, I mean, I tell you what, we're not going to have is a younger Luke Jackson next year. So, yeah, if there's an interest now, there's never going to be a higher selling point. Take it.
True. That is true. I will give you that. Kyle Wright, do you go that deep? Do you just unload everything?
You look back to the Phillies, I don't know, I feel like it's probably about a decade now where they just held on too long, never traded away their pieces. We're in a similar scenario where you're coming up against the contracts, you're starting to bring in the superstars, and they just held on to Howard too long. Does that not loom in the back of your head with this Atlanta team? When you look at some of these pieces and you look forward, and the whole contract not being done with Freddie Camp really bothers me.
Because their whole core – the Philadelphia Phillies core aged together, and their whole core was in their early to mid 30s when what you speak of. You're talking about a team that's really young. Outside of Freddie Freeman, they're extremely young, and Freddie's still only 31. He's going to play first base for the foreseeable future. You sign him to a long-term deal. Eventually, Freddie's going to be your designated hitter if you sign him. So let's say you sign him to a 7-year deal. The guy's going to be your DH, right? Because you're not going to re-sign Acuna. And so that would be your DH. So I don't see it in the same scenario as the Phillies yet. Now we get several years down the road. Well, not several, 2024. And this team still hasn't won a championship, and they're kind of flailing like they are this year. Then yeah, I can see trying to move off Freddie Freeman, still with a lot to offer, but you can get rid of his. Now a lot of that's going to have to do with how long of a contract he's going to sign. I think what Atlanta is going to be able to offer Freddie over every other team is they're going to be willing to go deep. They're going to be willing to go 7-8 years that no other teams. I think most other teams nowadays 4 or 5 years, but because he is their brand, they're going to be willing to go, I would think 7-8 years, because I think he's 31. I might have that wrong, but he's right in that wheelhouse. That would take him to the end of his career, essentially.
I hope Freddie's a lifer. I'm not opposing it. I'm just saying I'm fielding calls. I'm at least looking.
I don't want to trade,
but I'm moving Smiley and I'm moving Morton definitely. I'm keeping Freddie unless just something astronomically stupid comes across. And if you need a franchise for a franchise, well, maybe I'm open to that call.
I know your son's generation is going to be more of an Acuna. We'll just say just a tad older than your son. I don't want to trade that generation's Chipper Jones, because I think there's something to be said with having, first of all, he's a hell of a guy. And so to have him as the face of your franchise, I think is invaluable. And I would not want to ever trade Freeman because of what he means, not just to the clubhouse, et cetera, but also, man, the fans, the merchandising, what you can sell. We don't live in Atlanta, but I'm sure his face is plastered all over every billboard that you can think of.
You better hope that you feel you're close in that contract negotiation.
Yeah, now
because if you don't, you walk away with nothing.
You're gonna I get that part too. I do, but I think it's worth the risk because you do get a first round draft pick. Whoopity freaking do. But Major League Baseball. I don't even know who this guy we drafted last night was. I read up on him, and I can lie to you and say I know, but I don't know who the hell he is. By the way, did you catch any of the Major League Baseball draft last night?
I did not.
It was really strange. So they had it on both MLB Network and ESPN, just like they do with the NFL draft. But MLB did a terrible job. There was no bottom line or anything scrolling, letting you know who the next draft pick is and how many teams. I flip over to ESPN and they were doing what they would normally do with the NFL draft, right? And I'm like, MLB's got a damn bottom line. I see it all the time. So what the hell's going on here? It was strange for them I would have liked to have listened to their coverage, but I didn't like not knowing what the hell's going on next, right? And so I ended up flipping over to ESPN because I didn't listen to any of it. I listened to when the Braves drafted that was about all I listened to. The rest I was just watching. And it was strange. No bottom line whatsoever. I mean, you don't realize like how ingrained that is into you as a sports fan, especially with something like a draft. You don't have it memorized what pick that the Braves have or whatever team you're flipping over there for. It was really strange. Your boy Rocker fell to the Mets at number 10.
Wow.
Now that has to do with, here's the goofy thing. They only have so much money that they can give for their draft picks. And that's the crappy thing about trying to sell it to the American public on watching this draft. Certain teams have certain amount of money and it fluctuates and it's too long and boring to explain why. But one of the reasons why Rocker fell as far as he did is because he's expected to want to sign as a top 5, and teams like the Angels and Rockies and Royals, they don't have that money in their caboodle. So they went with other players that they feel like they can sign cheaper. Braves, same situation. They signed a kid. He's a 4-year junior out of Wake Forest, pitcher. His name's Ryan Cusick. Ryan Cusick is his name. But he's a kid that probably wouldn't have been picked as high as he was, other than the fact that they think they can sign him. Here's a strange one. So I turned it off after the Braves one. Is this kid related? The A's drafted Max Muncy in the first round. Isn't that where Max Muncy originally came from? Was Oakland, and then like the Dodgers picked him up or whatever?
I believe so.
Are they trying to draft him again? I don't know if he's related to this kid or not, but it's really strange. His name's Max Muncy, spelled exactly the same. Really, really strange. Anyways, the draft will continue today and tomorrow. I think today's round 2 and 3, and then tomorrow is a bunch of the other. They're doing 20 rounds as opposed to the normal 40, and before that they were doing 60.
Really curious that Pirates passed on Leiter and went catcher first. That was an interesting pick.
Yeah.
Didn't quite see that one coming, but hey, it's good for the Texas Rangers.
I don't know why they did that, because I'm with you. I would think you would want to go with the good for the Rangers. It's good for Leiter. You know,
well, yeah,
his dad. So they had a huge, man, there must have been 30 people in the damn living room. And they, when he got drafted, like they were all going crazy, and you know, they were sitting there going, oh God, if we don't get drafted here, we're going to go to the damn Tigers. So you're sitting there, Jack Leiter, you're like, dude, I'm not going to get by Pittsburgh or possibly Detroit. I'm never going to fall the way to Boston. Did you ever watch Entourage?
Yes.
The kid that got drafted by the Boston Red Sox at number 4, look him up after the show. Dead ringer for the star of Entourage. I don't know that kid's like actual name, but you know, the star that they built Entourage around, the movie star. As soon as he popped on the screen, I looked at him, I was like, doesn't that look just like that damn kid from Entourage? She goes, yeah, it does. I'm like, and he's from California. I'd like to know if he's an illegitimate child, because I mean, we're talking about Entourage around 20 years ago. He's a shortstop going to the Red Sox, but dead ringer, man. Same hairdo. I mean, he leans into it because he's got the same hairdo and everything. If you're trying to get people not to think you look like him, you'd be getting a crew cut or something. What's your walk-off for the day, sir?
Well, I'm going to make Big E proud today. I missed the draft because I got introduced to Ted Lasso. And if you haven't seen it, it's a great comedy. I enjoyed it very thoroughly this weekend.
What is it called? It's a movie?
Ted Lasso. It's a TV series. It's on Apple TV. It's pretty neat. It's follows a Premier League coach.
Oh, yeah. I
kind of their version of Major League, twisted into the Premier League soccer team. Very interesting. So it was fun to watch.
Yeah, we tried the first couple episodes. I remember now. It's the guy from We Are the Millers.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I don't even know his real name. Strange, because he's a pretty famous actor. I just know
I know it's one of three, and I'm not going to guess because
I don't think it's Ron Burgundy. I don't think that's his name.
Definitely not Ron Burgundy.
That's what I want to call him, but I don't think he's Ron Burgundy. All right, brother. We will see you Friday. Have a good rest of your day and enjoy not watching any of the All-Star game.
Amen. See you Friday.
All right, brother. We're going to be back in a flash show on the Armchair Quarterbacks. When we come back, we're going to do something we haven't done all year long in the world of fantasy football. And I'll explain our entire schedule for the rest of the week. We'll be back in a flash here on the Armchair Quarterbacks. Keep it locked in here to CBS Sports Radio and YouTube Live. Find us on YouTube today. Please like, follow, and share today.
You make sure forever the night they play the Titans.
Even though you're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks on CBS Sports Radio, we're here weekdays, drive time, your first choice for sports talk here on the First Coast.
We live in a world now that welcomes and nurtures the screwball in all of us. Hey, it's a new decade, people. Time to get a little nutty. Treat yourself to Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. It combines two of America's favorites, peanut butter and American whiskey. So no more social awkwardness. Time to embrace who you truly are. Get out there and make friends. And be sure it starts with Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. It's available nearly everywhere. Learn more at screwballwhiskey.com. Infinium Spirits. Please enjoy responsibly.
What do we do? This has got way too complicated.
I've got it. Here's what's going down. Corey, you talk to your team. You guys are going to decline that holding call.
Done.
Yo, wait, but
Hold on. Trayshawn, once we break this huddle, you're going to get out there, do some crazy celebration. I'm talking some humpies. Whatever you got to do, you do it.
Okay, I got you.
I'm going to call unsportsmanlike conduct on the celebration, giving the Whites better field position after the kickoff. Coach, I need you to talk to your team about letting them run that kickoff back.
Why would I do that?
Think about it. Defense, special team, it's all one. You let them run that kick back, both your defenses get 6 points.
Nice.
Okay, everyone good here?
Yeah.
Nope. Once again, my kicker is getting no love.
Oh, shut up, Bill. Your team is in first place. Plus, you're about to get extra point for the PAT.
Yeah, don't be greedy, Bill.
Stop being greedy, Bill.
Bill.
Fine.
Bill. Yeah, Bill.
I said fine.
Bill.
Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
You, Bill.
All right, let's do this. Get out there.
Wait a minute. Trayshawn comes in with a very delayed celebration here. Oh, wow. I'm pretty sure that's going to be yeah, there it is. Another
Armchair.
You get a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks. So much, I'm going to have to speed things up. You can get the Farmers Signal app, and that could get you up to 15% off your auto policy. That's just for using the app and driving like the normal speed limited, hearing, full stop, making lane change, signaling human being you are. Get a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks. Start with a quote by calling 1-800-FARMERS.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
It's time to jump into DraftKings. Go to DraftKings today at DraftKings.com. Golf, NASCAR, soccer, you name it. And of course, Major League Baseball, basketball, hockey, and football. Go to DraftKings.com. Listen to the Armchair Quarterbacks for DFS advice all year round.
You think I got canceled? Are you under the impression that I got canceled?
Have I hurt you, Jerry?
I thought that was pretty well documented. This is
shows.
Is this still CNN? I was the #1 show on television, Larry.
You were.
Do you know who I am? 75 million viewers. Last episode.
What? You don't take it so bad.
Well, that's the big difference between being canceled and being #1.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Good morning. Welcome back here to the Armchair Quarterbacks. Doug joins us via Ghetto Vision. What the hell's going on with that screen, Doug?
I don't know, because I can see you clear as day. I don't know why.
To do with you can see us. If your screen is broken, if your freaking if your camera's cracked, do I have to explain to you how cameras work?
I guess I'll have to get a new phone. Oh well, all right.
We'll see if we can figure something out.
All right.
It looks like it's been spider webbed.
Yeah, I've ordered a new look. The thing is, I've ordered a new phone. I I can't get I couldn't get a new phone in time for today, and I didn't want to risk using my other screen because then I look like I'm 6 feet tall on the other screen. So
I'd rather have that than
I know. I just didn't want to miss the show.
From like some hostel in Serbia.
I know. I just like I said, I just didn't want to miss the show. I didn't want to take a risk and not having anything for today.
All right. Let's go ahead. Okay, first of all, we would normally be doing DFS, but obviously there's no DFS. I think you can bet on the home run derby. So, in fact, I know you can bet on the home run derby. I don't know if that's considered DFS, but I know that you could go on a gambling site and bet on the home run derby. I'm going to run down the players real quick. I'm still not going to watch it. I'm boycotting it because for obvious reasons, there's no way in hell I'm going to watch the home run derby when it should be in Atlanta, Georgia. And all the businesses that got screwed out of that deal to give it to Denver, Colorado is just asinine on so many levels. But we won't go down that political hole. Okay. Let me find the where the hell did it go? Here we go. Home run derby. You've got Shohei Ohtani with his 33 home runs going up against Juan Soto in the first round. Gallo going up against Trevor Story in the second round. In the first round, excuse me. All these are first round matchups. You got to give Trevor Story some bit of an advantage because he's at home. So you figure he knows the stadium. I don't want Gallo to win it because I don't want to wreck his swing. And I'm hoping he might get traded to Atlanta. So I'm pulling against him for selfish reasons. Matt Olson is going up against Trey Mancini. That would be a cool story of Trey Mancini with the illness that he had and he missed last year and everything. I would like to see Trey Mancini win it. Salvador Perez is a cool one just because he's an old veteran. He's going up against Pete Alonso. Of all those guys, who gives you the best chance of upsetting Shohei Ohtani? Surprised we don't have a couple of the bigger names, but I guess a lot of them withdrew. All the Houston Astros withdrew, by the way. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They said, no, we're not doing it. And I didn't see if they were doing it because they agree with I know some of the players have declined because they didn't want to. It's not being covered, but if you do the deep dive, some players are not going because they don't want to support the All-Star game because they feel like the city of Atlanta got screwed. Other players are doing it because of injury, right? Or they're just wanting to take it off. It's enough already, kind of thing. But who gives you the best chance of winning if you decide to bet on this today? Because you know that Ohtani's going to be the favorite, so if you bet on him, you're not going to win a lot back.
I'm liking Trevor Story just because of the home field. It's a rare situation where you have somebody in their home stadium.
The guy that I could see doing it because of his showmanship, et cetera, give me Juan Soto. And I know that's a long shot because he goes up against Ohtani the very first round. So there's a good chance he gets knocked out in the first round. But if he can get past him somehow, and he's a pure hitter, he's a lefty, et cetera, I think that's who I would go with. Gallo, he's got the natural swing to win it. But the dude also strikes out a lot in the major leagues. So that tells me that I don't know if I can count on him to make contact in the damn thing. So anyways, to hell with that. By the way, I want to explain what's going on this week on the show because we had talked about a long time ago we weren't going to do any shows. And I decided this last week, I was like, that's just really stupid to just not do shows, period. We just won't be covering the All-Star game because who cares about it? It no longer means anything. And if it's not going to be in Atlanta, that's just kind of our stance. But we will be here tomorrow. I am giving Justin the day off. We're going to show up about the same time. I've got a couple of things planned, and then Mr. Bobby's going to join us, and we are going to do Florida Gator football tomorrow. So kind of excited about that, kind of get the juices flowing for the college football season. And then Wednesday, is Fantasy Football Day. I'm going to cover some stuff in fantasy football. You're not going to want to miss it because it's content you're not going to get in most other shows, most other places, and this is the only time I'm doing it. So if you miss out on Wednesday's show, you're going to lose your fantasy football league. Bet it up. So anyways, I'm going to cover that because I did some research this weekend, found some interesting trends on who teams play and whatnot. So we're going to do that on Wednesday, and then Thursday we'll be back to normal with Joey's going to be with us, and I think Thursday's Green Bay Packer football day, and of course Yankees Red Sox come back, and then Friday I do know that we're doing the Saints with Justin. We're gonna be eating them W's, and we got other things planned along with the NBA playoffs. Which, if you missed that last night, Bucks win. It's 2-1. Phoenix still, but the next game is Wednesday, not Tuesday like it normally would be. The next game is Wednesday. They didn't want to go head-to-head with the All-Star game, so Wednesday will be the NBA Finals. Will resume then. So I found that interesting because in years past, they've never done that. They've always gone Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. They did that for years when they figured out that Friday – at one point they were doing Friday, Sunday, Wednesday, and it was the dumbest thing on the planet to try to put it. I have to look and see what game 5 is scheduled for, but dumbest thing on the planet to schedule a game on Friday night and think you're going to get good. You have a hard enough time getting your wife to let you watch NBA basketball. How the hell are you going to sell? Hey, let's not go out to eat tonight. Let's sit here and watch basketball in the middle of July. No, okay, you say so. All right, so we're going to do a mock draft. We haven't done one of these yet. We're going to go into the mock draft season as we get it rolling here. Now, what I have is set up for Doug is we have the 4th pick in a 10-man draft. And we're going to try to move this kind of fast, but I can control the clock. I did make sure to sign us up for that, so we're not, you're talking and trying to figure out who you want, and we've all seen us do this. I don't know, it's between us. Yeah, it doesn't matter who you want because the other guy's been drafted already. We got auto drafted. So so it's our typical scoring system is what I went with, half point PPR.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 10-man draft with the 4th pick. Your usual suspects are taken. That's why I took number 4, because in most drafts, McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook, and Derrick Henry are going to go 1, 2, 3. You might get Cook over Henry, and you might get Henry over Cook. But essentially, those are your top 3 picks that are going to go in almost in every fantasy draft unless there's a weird scoring system. So with that being said, where do you want to go? Because the world is your oyster past that.
Okay.
And I can pull up different positions and whatnot, but you can figure out, essentially who's left.
Yeah. The thing is, my number one rule is you got to take your running backs earlier. Their percentage of talent from top tier to bottom tier is the lowest percentage, meaning the talent pool is very small for running backs. So whatever top running back is left is who I'm taking at number 4. I'm not going to make any mystery out of that.
So who you got?
Well, if Henry, Cook, and McCaffrey are gone, then I gotta go. As much as I gotta go with I'm going to take Ezekiel Elliott because I'm scared of Saquon Barkley. I know he's not top 5, but I'm scared of Barkley and his injuries. I've been bitten too many years taking him in drafts, and he's out for the year.
Okay. Please tell me that you have something pulled up over here. They're trying to go this off of memory because I see a screen in front of your face. So
yeah, I just got my list. Got my list. I'm sorry.
I didn't want you to panic and go, I don't remember. Give me
no.
Again. Okay, so we're gonna go Zeke, leaving Saquon Barkley and Alvin Kamara on the board. All right, so it's going to roll through. So you like Zeke over Kamara?
Yeah, I mean, Kamara did have a season, a great season, but I don't trust his consistency year to year. So
I'll tell you what concerns me a little bit is what is he going to look like? You would think that they would lean on him more, but I don't know now that Drew Brees is gone. So that is an interesting pick because would they lean on him more, or is Jameis going to be Jameis throwing interceptions and the team's down and behind all the time? And then what do you have? You got a guy who's out there pass blocking. So that's an interesting move. Okay. That goes by the wayside. I'll rattle off some of the bigger names that left. Our pick is up again. Chubb and Adams and Kelsey, Jones, Hill, Diggs, Akers, Mahomes, Ridley. They're all gone, along with the other guys I mentioned, and Taylor. Taylor's gone.
Oh, Taylor is gone too.
Yeah. He went. He's going pretty early in these rounds. I think he went 6th or 7th overall. He went 5th. Nah, there's no way in hell I'm drafting Taylor over Kamara or Barkley.
No.
I'm going to take my chances with Kamara or Barkley before I do that. Okay. DeAndre Hopkins, Eckler, and Gibson. Now you tell me if you have a position that you want to focus on. I can jump back and forth in that. But what it does is it loads like the top 4 players in the list, but I can move around from position to position. So right now you got Hopkins and Eckler and Gibson, the running back from Washington, and Metcalf. If you're looking for another running back, Eckler, Harris, Gibson, and Mixon are your top running backs according to this thing.
Yeah, going that thing. Then I would have to say, not Gibson, but God, I just say the first one again. I'm sorry, my list is going slower than yours. Oh, Eckler. Awesome.
Okay. So you're going to take Eckler there, and it'll roll back around here in a second. And most of those guys that I just mentioned, they're all gone. All right. So you've got your 2 running backs started off. This is a typical draft where we're doing 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a flex, a quarterback, and a defense. Okay. And then we've got 4 bench positions, but we probably won't get to that today. Okay. Here are your best receivers available, and then I'll go to quarterbacks and running backs. You got Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen, and Michael Thomas are listed as the top receivers. Your top running backs available are CEH, J.K. Dobbins, Swift, and Carson. And then your top quarterbacks available, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott.
Okay. I'm going to take that. I'm taking Jefferson from the Vikings. I'm going to take my first wide receiver here.
Okay. So now that sets up nicely. It comes back around. So we've got Eckler, we've got Zeke, and we've got Justin Jefferson. Some of the names that went off the board after that pick, pretty much all the ones that I had just named, and then other ones that I didn't. Kittle's gone. Robinson of Jacksonville is gone. Sanders of Philly is gone. Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, Dobbins, Swift, and McLaurin. So do you want to go receiver again? You want to get a flex? You want to go quarterback?
Let's get a flex.
Okay. So your top flex available are Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson, Chris Carson, and David Montgomery of Chicago.
Take Keenan Allen.
Okay. So you grab Keenan Allen. So now that's going to give you your second receiver, right? So we sit around 5. So now we've got 2. I want to make sure that sets it up correctly. I assume it does. Oh, here's my roster. Yeah. So we've got Zeke, Eckler, Justin Jefferson, and Keenan Allen. And it rolls back to you. And your top receiver / flex available would be Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, playing on the same team, Woods and DJ Moore. If you decided to go running back for your flex, your top running backs starting to get hairy because you've got Gaskin, who when he was on the field actually had pretty good production. Mike Davis of Atlanta, ETN of Jacksonville, and Kareem Hunt. And if you decide to go quarterback, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson.
Wow, that's tough. You know what? I'm gonna get that wide receiver. I'm gonna go take Amari Cooper.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to lead in with that. And now I would tend to think you're going to go quarterback or tight end at this point, right?
Yeah.
Your tight ends best available, Kyle Pitts of Atlanta, Godare, Logan Thomas, and Noah Fant. And if you go QB, most of them are still there. Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, and Aaron Rodgers. But of course, the question right now sitting here in July is he going to play for Green Bay? Is he going to play? Right? Where are you going?
Well, I got to kind of hold my nose, but I'm going to go ahead and take Lamar Jackson here.
Oh, I think that's the slam dunk pick.
Yeah. I don't know. He bothers me.
You don't like Lamar?
I've never been a big fan. I know he's great for fantasy points. Don't take me wrong. I don't know. I don't always trust him, but you are right. This is the best pick right here. This is where you take him.
If you've never had him in fantasy, that's why you don't like him.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll take my chances with Lamar Jackson because I know if nothing else, the ball's going to be in his hand a lot.
Yeah.
But, it would be interesting. You could probably talk me into possibly taking a chance on Justin Herbert over him, but I'm not touching Aaron Rodgers with a 10-foot pole here in July. Now, by the time we get to our drafts, it's going to be a totally different story. But right now, I don't want any part of it. Okay, so the way we look at our roster right now is we got all of our major positions except tight end and defense. Do you go tight end defense or are you wanting to go depth? What you got? Tight end, you got Godare, Fant, Logan Thomas, and Tunyon. And I would think you have, you pretty much have all the defenses.
Yeah, all the defenses. Wow. Let me see. Who do we have? What's listed on defense? Because I don't have defense in front of me here.
Steelers, Rams, Redskins, Baltimore.
I'm going to take the Redskins defense. I love them a lot.
Okay. So if we go to tight end, we'll go ahead and wrap this up with that, and we won't worry about our bench because we're running out of time. If we go to tight end, Dallas Goedert, Fant, Logan Thomas. See if there's others. Tunyon, Gesicki, Higbee, Irv Smith, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith.
I'm
going
to take
figure out what Belichick's going to do with those guys.
Yeah, I was going to take Logan Thomas there.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the safest bet, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like Goedert, but man, I don't know what the hell he's going to do with Hurts being his quarterback all year round. And if for some reason Aaron Rodgers comes back and plays for Green Bay all year long, Tunyon's not a bad pick.
No.
I have and Noah Fant, for all the talent that he has, I don't not trust Denver's offense at this point.
No.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers. So right now, looking at the roster, this is what we'd have going the season without a bench. Lamar Jackson, Zeke, Eckler, Justin Jefferson, Keenan Allen, Logan Thomas, and Amari Cooper with Washington's defense. So I wonder if there's a way to go ahead and simulate this, but I guess you can't. Yeah, you can. Auto draft. I'm going to auto draft it real quick just to see what grade that this thing gives. It gave us a B. They ended up giving us Williams, Zach Moss, Pollard, and Jerry Jeudy on our defense. I mean, on our bench, excuse me. Handcuffing Pollard's not bad. Javonte Williams in Denver, Zach Moss in Buffalo, Jerry Jeudy in Denver. I just talked about how I didn't like Denver's offense. The damn computer must have heard me. All right, well, jeez Louise. Is there anything that you would have done differently?
If I second guess myself, maybe taking Kamara instead of Zeke is about the only thing I would have second guessed myself on.
Kamara over Zeke.
Maybe there. That's about the only place I really guessed I would have maybe gone back and changed, and that's a big maybe.
Eckler is always the wild card to me because when he plays, he normally produces. He gets banged up, and it's not like I wouldn't call him necessarily injury prone, but I feel like in that scenario, we would be handcuffing his backup and not worrying about getting Jerry Jeudy or who's the other idiot? Zach Moss. Because I definitely feel like you have to grab Pollard if you're going to have Zeke, because you want to have that. Obviously, a 4-man bench is a very small bench, so you look at it very much differently than you would other drafts. All right, it's time to turn back time and get on out of y'all. Remember, top of the hour, we are going live with Timus and Angelo for the Catbird seat. We cannot wait to talk about that because what the Yankees did yesterday. As great as it was Saturday night, it was terrible yesterday. All right, here we go. Oh my God. All right. All right, on this date in sports history, Mr. Cy Young, 120 years ago today, won his 300th game. He would go on to win over 200 more games, by the way. I think is it 548 or 528? I think is his all-time win. That thing will never be touched. I think it's 548. His losses will never be touched either, because I think he has over 300 losses. It's right in that neighborhood. It's unbelievable. Of course, back then you pitched until the game was over. There was no, and a lot of times back then you pitched back-to-back days. Also on this date, 1921, Babe Ruth sets the record for 137 career home runs. Imagine that. There was a time 100 years ago today that 137 career home runs was a thing, as being like the most ever, because we were just coming out of the dead ball era. Birthdays.
It's your birthday today.
All right, you want a dead guy? All right, let's grab a dead guy here. Man, they always want to throw Tour de France guys at me and stuff like that. I ain't going on that. How about Otis Crandall Davis? Oh, he's not dead. Never mind. I just assumed he was. He was born in 1932. Happy birthday to you, Otis Crandall. Damn, you're 91 years old. He's a 400 by 400 relay winner from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I wonder if Bear Bryant knew about him. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Wow, won the gold in 1960. All right, I have to go farther back and make sure we get a dead guy. Marty Freeman, American Basketball Hall of Fame point guard and coach, played for the New York Whirlwinds in 1921. He passed away in 1986. He was born in New York, New York. Bet you never heard of that guy. Although
the Whirlwinds, but never heard of him.
Although you might have went to high school with him. But anyways,
kind of.
What's your walk-off for the day, sir?
My walk-off today, I thought it was great watching the Bucks play a home game. People don't realize that's the first time since 1974 that the Bucks actually played a home playoff game.
What?
And I thought that was great, because the last time I ever watched professional basketball, what's that?
They've played several home playoff games this year alone. What are you talking about?
The Bucks yesterday.
Did you mean to say finals?
Yes, in the finals. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, in the NBA final. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Playoff game? What the hell are you talking about? They playoff games all the damn time. They're the Bucks.
No, I meant in the finals. The finals.
Okay, gotcha.
In the finals, and the last time was in 1974, and I actually watched that game in 1974. So,
were you there?
Yes, I was with my dad. My dad was on a business trip, and he got free tickets, and I didn't care about basketball.
You went
but
to the game. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the last time the Bucks played in the final was the last time the only time I've ever been to a pro basketball game and a final at that. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, sorry about that. I meant in the finals. The finals.
Of course, it's the 50th anniversary of the last time. So, are you a Bucks fan because of that, or?
Yeah, I always root for him. Like I said, basketball isn't my forte, but I always have a soft spot for him.
Gotcha. I'm not apologizing for pulling for the Suns to anybody. I want to see Chris Paul get a championship because I'm tired of hearing people say that Chris Paul can't win the big one. Chris Paul's played with a bunch of bitches is what he's played with. And Chris Paul, everywhere he's gone, has won. And why in the world are we picking? Oh, okay. I saw a video of the old Chris Johnson of the Tennessee Titans, the old running back, and I was like, why is there pictures of him going? They were talking about who would beat Tyreek Hill in a foot race in their prime. I could definitely see Chris Johnson might be the fastest football player I ever saw. My gut instinct would tell me pick Deion, mainly because he ran track in college as well. So if I'm going to go get a guy who's going to win a foot race, I want a guy who has track experience. So my gut's telling me Deion or old Bullet Bob Hayes. But I don't think Bullet Bob Hayes would have that nickname back today. I think they'd be like, he's more like a boulder dude. He's not fast. Everyone always talks about Darryl Green for the Redskins.
Yeah.
But Deion always looked faster to me. I always felt like Deion had that extra gear if he wanted it. My walk-off for the day is enjoy the All-Star festivities if you are going to watch it. I am not participating, but that's fine. I'm not going to shame anyone who is. Enjoy it. I just hope everything goes well because after that story that came out about the 4 gunmen that were arrested a block from the hotel where they're having the All-Star game. And I know the FBI is coming out and they're saying that there was nothing going on. There's not terrorism, whatever. I don't believe that they tell you everything to begin with. And that makes me nervous as hell that the people with long guns and several rounds of ammo were that close to a mob of people. And just the thing that popped in my head was the old, remember the concert in Las Vegas?
Yes.
The first thing that popped in my mind, I was like, oh my God, how terrible would that have been? Look, I don't think Denver deserves the All-Star game, but I don't want to see any harm come to anybody. Okay, we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Florida Gator football day, and we're going to do a couple of other things as well. And then once again, Wednesday, if you're playing fantasy football this year, you don't want to miss that show. We will see you. Mañana, great job, Doug. Bad job, Doug's phone lens. Okay.
Goodbye, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Back tomorrow with another show. Well, unless we're fired, we'll talk to you then. Goodbye, sweetheart. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Guys and gals, it's time to go. We'll see you on the next show.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Thanks for listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks on these CBS Sports affiliates and catching the show on YouTube Live. We're here weekdays. Find Armchair Quarterbacks on YouTube Live today. Please subscribe and share and take us everywhere you go. The Armchair Quarterbacks, your first choice for Southern sports talk, live from the First Coast.
Gonna get